Unlike a regular levee, which has only one job, to keep water out of a city, a horizontal levee is a multi-purpose way of keeping water out of a city. But at the same time, it's providing habitat, it's purifying water, and it's protecting an engineered levee from flooding.
And the idea with a horizontal levee is that as we plan for sea level rise and start to build up our embankments to protect people and property from sea level, we can also recreate that gentle slope that provides a lot of value for the natural world and for people.
A horizontal levee could incorporate freshwater discharges. So instead of just providing transition zone habitat from the marsh, it also could provide a salinity gradient from freshwater to saltwater.
It provides immediate benefits of high tide refugia, wave run-up, but it also allows transgression space for sea level rise and accommodation of future wetlands.
A horizontal levee is a multi-benefit feature that provides shoreline resilience to sea level rise, as well as wastewater treatment and polishing for nutrient removal and removal of other organics, and habitat protection and resilience.
And then the real thing that a horizontal levee offers is an input of fresh water into the backside of a tidal marsh that mimics the natural shallow surface water flow, shallow surface groundwater flow that we used to see historically along the edge of a marsh. Having that extra fresh water really helps for managing invasive weeds. So it makes, I believe it's going to make the idea of having a transition zone next to a marsh much more achievable and at a lower cost.
It represents an opportunity for us to adapt to climate change, improve water quality, and restore habitat.
What's great about a horizontal levee is it's flexible. It's, again, this emulation of a natural physical feature. And so what it lets you do is if you want to, you could put wastewater down that slope. And once you start trickling wastewater down the slope, you're cleaning up the wastewater using the plants that are there. You're recreating that gentle transition with a slope wetland into tidal marsh. And that's really great for the species that are in the marshes. They like to have that option to move between the saltier and the fresher part of the marsh. It gives wildlife a lot more ecological options in a dry year or a hot year so that they can find a place where they can thrive even as conditions are changing.
I also think that horizontal levees are a great way to incorporate public access along the shoreline, where if you look at the models and the maps, right now the San Francisco Bay Trail is projected to be underwater, and a horizontal levee can be an answer to that challenge by bringing the Bay Trail back to the edge of the new shoreline and at the same time providing habitat restoration.
A horizontal levee provides multiple benefits for adapting to sea level rise, so it could provide flood risk management and also a longer life for marshes if they can migrate up it, and it could also provide high tide refuge in the short term, as well as storm surge buffers and wave attenuation. It also provides a very long habitat ecotone, multiple habitats for species.
Well, it provides multiple benefits, which is why we all like it, in theory. It will help significantly in addressing sea level rise because it does provide a slope up and a barrier, and provides a wetland habitat which has been proven to reduce storm surges and help control the amount of flooding that comes with sea level rise and king tides and storms. At the same time, those wetlands provide enormous habitat values to the critters in San Francisco Bay, many of which are endangered. And so it's a way of preserving San Francisco Bay as a healthy, thriving estuary.
And I think that's the biggest challenge facing scientists and managers, is explaining to the public what they are, and I think too how they can benefit from them.
I've been studying the Orloma Horizontal Levee project in San Leandro, California. I specifically study the fate and transformation of pharmaceuticals and things like antibiotics in the horizontal levee system. For me, in thinking about nature-based treatment systems and being very passionate about how natural systems can benefit water quality. The horizontal levee represents a transition for us, something that's gaining support in the community to go from more engineered systems to natural systems that have multiple benefits. And when we're thinking about climate change and all these issues that we're dealing with as a society, we're going to have to turn to more natural solutions. And in this process, there's going to be a bunch of transition. So for me, the horizontal levee is a stepping stone for addressing the bigger problems that we have as a society related to water quality, climate change, or other environmental issues.
To make horizontal levees a reality for the region, I think we need to bring together disparate communities of practice, the flood control folks who are looking at long-term flood control strategies, the wastewater treatment folks who are looking at long-term strategies for nutrient management, and the habitat-focused groups who are looking to meet habitat goals within San Francisco Bay Area and find opportunities for them to better integrate and share costs to make it less of a burden for any one group.
I think what's missing is enough examples of what this prototype looks like, or not prototype, but what this concept looks like, especially on a large scale. If we want to see it around the region, I think we need to see these in operation. And I think some of the barriers to just even getting those off the ground are each person is kind of, basically holding their breath or basically taking a step in faith that something great is going to happen here.
I think the technical capacity to build them at scale, permit them, plan them, we don't know how much they cost. I think there's a lot of great work going on trying to plan them. We don't know how well they hold up over time, so we need more pilot projects.
What's been missing is collaboration among all of the different parties that are working on shoreline resilience issues in the Bay. So I think this Transforming Shorelines Collaborative is one step in the right direction, but we need to realize the three goals of habitat protection, shoreline resilience, and water quality improvement. We need to engage the habitat folks and ecologists. We need to engage the stormwater and flood control community for the shoreline resilience aspect, and we need to engage the wastewater community and the academic community on the water quality benefits.